Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, and I am back. And this is part 2 technically, but is the finale of What If Tanjiro Was Raised by Akaza. If you enjoy, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a sub, make sure to leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. Tomorrow the movie version of this will be out. As y'all know, actually in this scenario as well, Tundra what ifs aren't normally super long. There's only been like 2 seasons. We're gonna get a third pretty soon, but Tundra what ifs are never very long because of the lack of content that are in it. And y'all know me by now, I don't really like drawing things out for no reason. Sometimes I do, sometimes I like adding extra details that are cool here and there, but other than that, I like keeping it simple in a way. And then stick to what I like personally. But still, if y'all enjoy, make sure to show some love. And I'm not going to waste that much more time, and we're going to get right into where we left off with Tanjiro. Tanjiro Kamado. He's on a mission now. Demon Slayers. Demon Slayers are the ones who are built to protect people. Protect humans just like himself. But on the way to that Mugen Train, he thinks about all the Demon Slayers that didn't help. That did not help him, his family, or anybody. He's with these 2 other fellows, 2 other people that are Demon Slayers as well. He doesn't know them very well, but he helped train them during a pastime. Before the Mugen Train, more or less mission, he helped train Inosuke and Zenitsu. He's not really friends with them, not necessarily. He kinda keeps people at an arm's reach. He doesn't like letting people get close. At least, not right now. Still though, he did help them a good bit. But Kanao and Aoi did most of that job. Tanjiro also did his own training, but that was more with Rengoku than anything else. Rengoku has definitely helped Tanjiro a good bit, helped him a lot, been kind of a father figure in a way, at least to an extent. But this is a mission, something serious, so he knows when he arrives at that said mission, some precautions will have to be taken. Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Rengoku would arrive at that said mission. They would imply different tactics. Tundra would be grouped up with Zenitsu and Inosuke, as Rengoku would take other aspects that he wanted to do to scout this so-called train. But when it came down to the nitty-gritty, well, they would all arrive on the train together, and they would begin to wait for the action of said demons. Rengoku would sit there as he enjoys food. Every last bite, he would enjoy every single little bit of that said food. And that was just part of his culture. That's what he was taught. Enjoy every meal, just like it would be your last. Rengoku would eat as the lights would begin to flicker, and the mood would change very, very quickly. These demons would appear, but just as they would appear, Rengoku would destroy them, kill them almost instantaneously. Tanjiro would watch on and would wonder maybe if Rengoku was there, his family would still be alive. He would look at Rengoku as Rengoku smiling still in the face of all danger, smiling in the face of everything. Tanjiro thinks to himself that maybe if he was strong, he would have been able to defend his family as well. Yes, he was just a little kid, a child. But if he could go back in time, he would save them. He's strong too, just like Rengoku. Tanjiro, though, would shake this off, this feeling. And eventually, this would lead to a bit of a predicament. They would all sit back waiting for their next move, but unbeknownst to them, they were already in a trap. Tanjiro would fall asleep and would wake up. Family all around him. Family all alive. Was all this just a dream? Was all this just... No. What was this? What's going on? Tanjiro is confused. But then, out of nowhere, a demon would appear in front of Tanjiro, apologizing. Tanjiro's confused. That must be the demon they're after. It's Enmu. Enmu apologizes and didn't know that they would cross paths like this. He releases Tanjiro from his sleep and tells him to leave now, or, well, he'll have to continue on with his plan while endangering him, in which Tanjiro is confused by. But Enmu makes it clear that the orders are straight from Muzan. Muzan has told him not to touch the boy that is being basically bred to become a demon, and that's Tanjiro, to not mess with Tanjiro. Tanjiro breaks free of this so-called sleep with the help of this so-called demon, this other demon that is currently on this train, but he feels odd about it. He can't just leave. If he does, then his whole cover is just blown. It doesn't make sense. So he decides to take it upon himself to do a bit of housekeeping, you could say. Something he'll have to do eventually anyways. He busts out the window and begins to confront Enmu face to face. Their fight is relatively similar, if not leans heavily in the favor of Tanjiro in this version. Tanjiro's just martial arts alone and pace would allow him to keep up with Enmu very, very easily. He would take down this demon, but quickly realize that Enmu is actually the entirety of the train. Now that is an issue Tanjiro wasn't ready for necessarily. But still, once the awakening of Inosuke and Zenitsu and also Rengoku would finally happen, it would make things far, far simpler. A 1 versus 1 with Tanjiro versus Enmu using more or less anything in his way, and also his senses that he currently has on top of the reaction speed he's gained from training with Akaza and Rengoku himself. He's able to keep up with the in and outs of what's going on in terms of putting him back to sleep or not. Tanjiro's easily able to more or less counter Enmu, but chopping off the neck in the basically the captain's quarters or the driver's seat is going to be the most difficult thing. The engine is practically his neck, but Tanjiro doesn't necessarily have a weapon that suits doing something like that. So with the help of Inosuke and Inosuke's blades, they're able to actually saw through while Tanjiro gives him an opening to destroy the neck of Enmu, killing that said demon. Actually, one of the stronger demons that are in the army of Muzan. What Tanjiro doesn't know is that there was a bit of a redoing and a rehaul after Rui died in a forest that, Tanjiro wasn't actually part of at all. Tanjiro had no idea, but Enmu was the last of the lower demons in the 12 Kizuki, and Tanjiro getting rid of him would actually set him up a lot better in the future if he decided to become a demon, if those ideals were still in vision for him. So when all this is said and done and everything is put forth, Tanjiro seems to be happy. Rengoku is safe, Zenitsu is safe, everyone around him is safe at this moment until they step out the train. The train demon, that demon wasn't the only thing that was waiting. What is waiting in the shadows is something far, far more scary, far, far more dangerous. And he would come out just as Rengoku is telling everybody to get everything cleaned up. He would introduce himself as Akaza, an upper 3 demon, one of the strongest in Muzan's 12 Kizuki, one of the strongest of all demons on the planet. Akaza would stand face to face with Rengoku, a daunting task that Rengoku, well, he feels that he has to take on alone, telling them all to stay calm, telling them all to worry about the people inside the trains first. Akaza would would look over to Tanjiro and would wonder what he's doing. Why has he not made a move yet? Just as he begins thinking this, Akaza was about to speak a word, but Tundra would begin walking toward Rengoku. Walking quicker and eventually until he was behind Rengoku. Rengoku would tell Tanjiro to stay over there, that it's not safe, that this fight is not for him, not yet. He's not strong enough yet. Tanjiro would then stand beside Rengoku, and Akaza's face would drop in disappointment. Akaza's face would be disappointed. It seems that the child he raised is now standing against him. It seems as if the person that he trained and made stronger is now standing against the demons. The one that they were going to make a demon. The one that they were going to make the perfect demon is now betraying them. Akaza about to speak a word to both Rengoku and Tanjiro, about to tell him that a mistake like this is brutal in the line of sight that he truly is in, but Tanjiro would not be making a mistake, because then he would take his right hand, right fist, clenching as hard as possible, bearing the pain of the metal and the Nichirin on his knuckles as he pushes his hand through Rengoku's back, slicing into it swiftly, and like a sharp bullet sends his hand straight through Rengoku, right through his chest, into his heart, and Rengoku would cough up blood, looking to the left as he looks at Tanjiro in complete and utter shock. Tanjiro would be looking at Rengoku with a stoic look, as if this was all a means to an end. He may be good-hearted, but his allegiance is to Akaza. And when he saw Akaza one last time, he knew what his decision was. His decision was the person or the demon that saved him. That may have been too late to save his family, but he wasn't going to choose the side of a demon slayer who didn't save his family, who didn't take him when he was younger, who didn't do anything. Tundra would kick Rengoku to the ground as he would begin to bleed out. Rengoku would slowly fade, and Tanjiro would apologize to Akaza for not allowing him to get in a fight, because he would have loved to fight Rengoku. Akaza smirks and says that the fight between them two, when Tanjiro becomes a demon, will be even greater than anyone a demon slayer could put up. Tanjiro would turn slowly toward Inosuke and Zenitsu, and they would be in complete and utter shock. Not knowing what to say and not knowing what to do, crows would begin to chirp all around. Birds and whatever crow/bird from Zenitsu to Inosuke would begin traveling as they begin to say one word: traitor, traitor, traitor. Tanjiro has now switched sides and is now on the side of the demons. And it's blatantly obvious that Tundra must have been more or less setting up this ploy for a long time. How they didn't realize it and how did they not know? Well, it's hard to know. When a boy is raised in such a way, raised with such kindness but at the same time with such brutality, with such patience through martial arts, and also the man who trained him knew exactly this day would come? Well, it's hard to tell, but they fell right into the trap, fell right into the paws of the demons, into the claws of every last demon. Inosuke and Zenitsu would stand there ready for a fight, but they would know that they need to run fast. If Rengoku basically had to take on this monster of a demon by himself to stand a chance, then what kind of chance do they have? They can't even beat Tanjiro in sparring. What does that mean for their chances of survival now? Tanjiro would look at Inosuke and Zenitsu, but walk away toward Akaza. He would walk over toward Akaza as Akaza would put his hand on Tanjiro's shoulder, telling him that it's now time. A scratch would be made on the neck of Tanjiro as the blood of Akaza would be injected into Tanjiro's skin. The feeling of a boil begins to hover over Tanjiro as more and more blood is injected within. More and more, slowly but surely. Zenitsu and Inosuke would stand there in complete shock. How? This is impossible. What is their course of action? What are they supposed to do? Run? Hide? No, they can't hide. When will the sun come out? No, not long enough. They don't know. They have no clue. No clue at all. Tanjiro is now turning into a demon. Their best hope, well, is that Tanjiro dies from this whole interaction. But he won't. Tanjiro is the perfect demon. Far more perfect than they could possibly even imagine. Akaza has now bred and created a demon that would change everything forever. Because Inosuke and Zenitsu would stand there and charge toward Tanjiro. Tanjiro would put out his hand as his eyes would begin to change in this dark red, veiny color, with his pupils changing way more vertical than you'd possibly imagine. Flame-like tattoos begin to explore across his head, begin to implore and indent his head more. Veins popping out from beneath his hair, and Tanjiro's smirk would become sharp, terrifying. Zenitsu and Inosuke would swing toward Tanjiro's head in hopes that they can kill him, that he will die. One chop, two chops, and Tanjiro's head is off. Akaza is in shock for a split second, but then out of nowhere, a realization by Akaza is made. A realization that chopping Tanjiro's head off isn't going to kill him. He's shocked, in a way terrified. How the hell? Akaza is proud, but at the same time freakishly terrified of how capable Tanjiro obviously is. How capable the boy he raised really truly is. Tanjiro grows back his head, just like Muzan. Then, far, far away, at the Hashira mansion, the crows not only are chirping and singing and clamoring at the idea that Tanjiro is a traitor, but also saying that the demon slayers, well, both Inosuke, Zenitsu, have died. And on top of that, a Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku, has died in battle as well. The traitor has killed all three of them, and Tanjiro Kamado has now become a demon. Everybody is shocked. Chills run down their spines. He knows so much. But what the Demon Slayers don't know is that it's even worse than they could possibly imagine. How quickly the domino effect would fall in the favor of every single demon out there. Demon Slayers would begin to get cut down one by one. The quality of the Demon Slayer Corp will definitely be put into perspective. Demon after demon, kill after kill, and strength began to grow for every last demon there. Akaza would watch as Tanjiro would begin to gain strength that seemed to be unimaginable. Something that nobody would even believe to exist. Tanjiro would be gaining power that nobody would even understand. Yeah, that's until a realization would go over Tanjiro. Tanjiro was special. Not only was he able to use the breath of the sun or sun breathing, he was able to survive getting his head cut off by an Ichirin blade. So does that mean even more than he could possibly imagine? One day, yes, day, in the daytime, sun out, Tanjiro would begin to walk outside. His skin would glisten and begin to burn, but then it would stop entirely, and his skin would regenerate. Tanjiro was truly immortal, and on top of that, he was in a position of complete and utter domination. What he wanted was unclear, so it all came down to what Akaza wanted. What did Akaza truly want? The death of Muzan didn't mean the death of every last demon, as long as there was another king to replace him. Tanjiro, stoic, would ask Akaza what kind of leadership and what kind of king did he truly want in power? What kind of demons did he truly want to see on their side? Akaza would be fearful at this question. What is Tanjiro even thinking? What kind of crazy idea does he have? He would show Akaza that crazy is not even the word for it. In the bright daylight, he would walk outside and Akaza would scream for him to tell him to stop. But Tanjiro was fine. Akaza was in shock, but a smirk would grow over Akaza's face as he would understand exactly what Tanjiro was speaking of, exactly what he was thinking. Kokushibo, Muzan, Douma, and every last demon, any demon that ever mocked Akaza, any demon that didn't follow the path that they should have, will now be under their control. And quicker than you can possibly imagine, the throne would be swiped away from Muzan's legs, and the death of Muzan would be imminent, and the new king would rise. Demon King Tanjiro would stand at the helm, and the death of every last demon slayer would follow suit. True immortality would follow suit, and Tanjiro and every last demon beneath him would walk and roam Earth for the rest of time. And that is a wrap for What If Tanjiro Was Raised by Akaza. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And I hope all of y'all enjoyed. Like I said, I hope all of y'all have an amazing day. Later.